Welcome back, everyone. Today we're joined by Trey Best, who plays Jeff on Stranger Things Season 4. Trey, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing so good. So excited to be here with you, Devin. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Well, my first question today is, were you a fan of Stranger Things before getting the part of Jeff?
Oh man, I was the biggest fan, like super duper, like in the Reddit chat rooms, looking through things, trying to find out spoilers and stuff. I was that type of fan. So yes.
Now, are you able to walk me through the audition process at all and tell me a little bit about what your reaction was to getting the part, where you were? How did that feel?
Yeah, so the funny thing is like I was auditioning for the show since like season one. The first audition I'd ever did, I just looked it up. It was for Tommy, and the mean dude.
That's
So
Tommy's the one who was with Steve in Season 1, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So I auditioned for Tommy, and then I had auditioned for a couple roles in season two, some stuff in season three, and nothing had ever worked out. Just because one one thing I always noticed that everybody and their mom was auditioning for Stranger Things and wanted to be on the show. So I was just happy to be reading. But in season four, I got the audition originally for Jeff and Gareth. And I was like, okay, these are pretty cool. And it was funny because my agent called me. He's like, man, I think you might have a good shot at one of these roles. And I try not to get my hopes up too much because, like I said, Stranger Things is one of the biggest shows in the world, and everybody and their mom is auditioning. So, but I did a second audition just off of tape, and I got a call like a week later, and they was like, hey man, you got the role. And I was like, I remember calling my mom, and I was like, Mom, you're not gonna believe it. I'm gonna be on Stranger Things. And my mom, she's so not caught up with like Netflix of the world. She's like, okay, baby, that is really nice.
She's just basically
Congratulations.
like, oh, you got a small role in a play somewhere in
Yeah.
town.
She's like, that's really nice. That's really nice. But man, it was like it really blew my mind because like I said, I had been watching the show since season one, and I had loved the show. I had loved the characters. I loved the story. So to say that, oh man, I'm gonna be a part of this in any way, it was like the most serendipitous moment ever.
Are you able to walk me through your first day on set? How did that feel?
Well, yeah. Well, so my first day on set was actually the day that the shutdown happened, and and we all shut down for the pandemic. And I literally gone to just like do like a hair and makeup test and wardrobe fitting, and literally they knocked on my trailer door and was like, "Hey, man, so actually we're going to be shutting down for like 2 weeks. It's not going to be too long. The world's going through something. It's going to take
Mhm.
a little quick break." But man, that 2 weeks turned into 4 months. And I was like, oh man. And I was just like, they're probably not going to call me back. I was like, the odds of them, bringing in these new characters. And, after everything that happened with the pandemic, it was like all, sets were trying to keep it as small as possible and to keep the world as small as possible, not have too many new characters. So I was like, oh man, they're probably gonna cut him out. I was like, well, at least I can say I was there that one day. But luckily during the pandemic, I was still like hearing things from them, like, okay, we're thinking about starting back up in September, and luckily, they had me back. And by the time we came back, it was full on, COVID safety, making sure everything was copacetic and everything. So my first day of filming was it was actually the day that we were doing it was the cafeteria scene. Well, actually, it wasn't the cafeteria scene. We were in the cafeteria, but we were doing the whole Hellfire meeting Erica scene. And going to set, I was just so nervous. I was so nervous. Like my anxiety was on 1,000 because, like I said, you feel like you know these characters, you know these people, but going in, everyone was just so warm, so sweet, was so welcoming, not only to me but to all of us in the Hellfire Club. And it was really like coming into like a family. Everyone was so just was so happy that we were there, and everyone was happy to be doing their jobs again, because we weren't certain of when we would actually be able to come back and film. So the first day, like my nerves were immediately gone, and after that, we were just able to really get into it.
Now, I did my research. I actually rewatched most of your scenes last night and last week before this to prepare. But so you're in the cafeteria scene, and then you're in the Dungeons and Dragons scene, and then you're in the garage scene, correct? So you're in
Yeah,
three
yeah, yeah.
big scenes there. Do you have a favorite scene that you shot between those three?
Hmm. I really liked the band scene where we were, playing and stuff
In the
in
garage?
the garage. Yeah, that one was really, really fun, because they really like brought us in and taught us how to play our instruments to some ability.
So that was
Um,
you actually playing in the
Listen, the amps were on, the basses were on, the guitars were on, the drums were on. Man, that was actually us. Even though it might have sounded like some craziness, it was like, hey, this is what kids were sounding like back in the day. Just trying to make something happen. So that scene was really fun to film. Also, like the whole stunt, and when Gareth gets thrown up and into the drums and stuff.
Mhm.
That one was really fun to film, because I had never like really done any stunt work or seen a stunt happen. So for it to happen in real time and to see it like, oh, like this man really like is throwing himself into this drum set. That was like crazy. Like our reactions were so real, because we only did that him getting thrown like one time, and it was like, oh yeah, that felt very, very real.
Yeah, I know Mason Dye, who plays Jason. He was very scary, and like as an
Listen,
actor, do you look at him and like you don't see him as Mason anymore, do you?
man, no, Lo, listen, Mason became Jason really fast. That man is an incredible actor. Like I was standing there like, ooh, I am shook right now. Yeah, it was that scene was very intense, but it was like it was really fun, because like in between filming, like we'd all kind of snap out like, this is really crazy right here. This is really crazy. I can't believe we're all filming Stranger Things right now. But no, it was that scene was really, really, really fun.
Now back to the cafeteria and the Dungeons and Dragons scene. We only see as a viewer maybe 5 to 10 minutes of these scenes, but how long does it take to film these scenes, such as the cafeteria, the Dungeons and Dragons scene?
So the cafeteria scene, I know we spent 2 days on that one, because you got a lot of things
Hmm.
floating in. You got all the different tables that are getting coverage. You have us who's getting coverage. Uh, Joe's getting coverage. So that one took about 2 days of filming, and then the Dungeons and Dragons scene, I think that one took like 3 days to film.
Now,
Yeah.
just from a film student question, because I just made my first short film to graduate, and I was using one camera and everything like that. Do they use a one camera setup on Stranger Things, or do they have all different cameras around and just shoot the scenes? Because I know you shoot the scenes over and over again from all different angles. So if you can share a little bit about that.
Yeah, there are multiple cameras going on at one time, but a lot of times they'll make sure that, okay, this is the one we're focusing on.
Hmm.
Okay, we're focused on the A camera right now. Okay, this time we're focused on C camera. So it was like there were multiple cameras going at one time, getting different shots sometimes, but it was always like focused on, okay, we're focused on this one camera. This is the one shot that we're really focused on right now.
And what was it like working with actors such as Joseph Quinn, Gaten, Matarazzo, Finn Wolfhard, Pryor Ferguson? How did that feel after watching them on the screen for so long? And can you tell me a little bit about their personalities, how they were on set?
Yeah, man. I can just say, like, going in, like the first person I met was Joe, and he was like, well, when I met him, he was in character. He was giving Eddie, and I was just like, man, I was like, oh, this. I was like, I had never met him before, and I hadn't heard of him either. So I was like, man, this guy's good. He's ready. So then when I met him outside of the whole Eddie garb, I was like, wow, man, you're an incredible actor. Like the whole time I was thinking to myself, like, this guy's about to blow up off of this. It's going to be crazy how incredible, because he had so much care for Eddie, like the way he would think about things and the questions he was asking, the Duffer Bros, and, figuring out things for Eddie to do. He had so much care and love. And that's really so fun to play off as an actor, when everyone's just really excited to be into their characters. So he was incredible. Honestly, I can't say anything besides incredible things. Gaten, Finn, Priya, they were all so cool and so welcoming. Like, because those were kind of the first scenes we were filming, and I'm telling you, these guys welcomed us in with just open arms, and really that's all you can ask for coming into a show that's already moving and is a well-oiled machine. They were just honestly just so kind to us.
Well, that's awesome. And when you're on a show like this, do they just give you the script for your part and you know nothing about anything else that goes on? So did you find out everything that goes on about the show with Vecna, with One, everything like that when we were watching it at the same time?
So I kind of knew little tidbits of things just from like talking to people, and just looking through, because we'll get like our daily sides, and sometimes we're not in every scene. So I'd be in there reading like, let me see what's going on here. So I would see a couple things, like, so I knew about Vecna, I knew what he was bringing, I knew about the kind of the mind control that he had. But that was really all. Like I was excited to as well watch the season back and see some of the things that kind of pieced together all the things I knew, plus the things that were revealing themselves.
Well, I assume you've watched all of season 4, correct? Before I ask this next question.
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
so did you know that Eddie was going to die at the end of season 4?
I did. I did know Eddie was going to die. That was one of the things that I had read. I was like, oh! I was like, no. I was like, Joe, they're taking you out of here, man. He was like, oh man, I said, oh no. I was like, my heart is broken. But yeah, that was one of the things that I did read.
What death do you think was the most brutal in season 4? Because my favorite is actually Jason's, because he gets totally destroyed in half, and that was the most surprising to me.
No one talks about that.
No, I rewatched it.
That was, I did not see that coming either, because I didn't know Mason's character was going to die. So I said, wait, the tearing apart of his limbs becoming a part of the port. I said, oh my, I said, that was terrible. And, we had seen Crissy go, and we'd seen Miles' character go, Patrick, and Logan's character. And I was just like, oh, I was like, no, those were brutal too. Now those were pretty brutal. Like, I'll tell you a story. Like, so, because when we were rehearsing for the band scenes, we would be rehearsing in like the prop house. So one day we were in the prop house, and I walk up on Crissy's body, just propped up on one of those stands. I said, oh, is that what we're doing this season? I said, oh, okay. I said, it's getting really horror. It's getting really scary out here. So yeah, the deaths this season were so well done, so well crafted, because they had me shook.
Now, since Eddie is now dead and Hellfire Club, who knows what the future is of Hellfire Club, especially with everything going on in Hawkins. Do we think that we may see you in season 5, either in the flashback scene, or who knows if Eddie's funeral is going to happen? Is there anything you can share? Anything you know?
Listen, man, I know nothing. I know not a single thing. I would love to see the Hellfire Club come back and, answer some questions and, talk about some things, and maybe even help and, aiding in, the friends, and, because it's going to take a lot of power to take Vecna down. It's going to take a lot. So I mean, hey, I'm game to come back. If they will have me, I'll definitely be back.
Now, were there any scenes that you filmed that were deleted?
Actually, no. All the scenes we filmed made it in.
That's awesome. Now, here's a wild timeline question. If you had to live in either the 1980s or the 2020s, which timeline would you choose for yourself to live in right now, not your character?
Me, I feel like I would stay right here in 2022. I feel like it's never been a better time for somebody like me. So I definitely would stay right here. Even though I love the clothing, I love the music from the 80s. I'll stay right here in 2022.
And if you could choose any character from any Stranger Things season that died to come back, who would you choose and why?
Hmm. Hmm. Like in the whole show or just
Yep,
like,
whole entire show.
man. You know, if it was up to me, I'd bring Eddie back. I'd bring Eddie back, man, because one, I feel like Joe, I feel like another season of him would really be great. I hope somehow he gets to come back because he was so incredible in the role. Also, honorable mention to Crissy because she deserves so much more. she that girl deserved a lot more.
Was there anything in particular that surprised you that you didn't think would happen while filming the show, or did everything kind of go the way you thought?
Hmm. Do you mean like storyline wise or
Like,
like
while filming.
while filming? I think to me everything went off without a hitch. Really, I mean, if I felt like because they were putting so much care into making sure each scene and each moment was really did its was given its due diligence, I feel like everything turned out so incredible and so much better than I could have even imagined.
Now, for the Dungeons and Dragons scene, did you learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons for that, or and have any knowledge of playing it?
Yeah, so I definitely like did a lot of research on Dungeons and Dragons because it's kind of a difficult game when
Yeah,
you
I
think
personally have
about,
never played it, so
listen, these campaigns and developing your character and all that stuff, it's a lot. So I got a really good basic knowledge of the game and all the different things with it just so that I wouldn't look crazy on camera. And then they'd also like crafted already like characters for us who Jeff was in the game and who Gareth was in the game. So that was very helpful too.
yeah, I loved your character's reactions because I always noticed while rewatching it, I noticed you you basically were just acting so surprised in so many scenes, and that's one of the things I like to notice about Jeff was that like when Lucas couldn't go to the Dungeons and Dragons scene, you were acting so surprised, and I was like, he's a good facial actor too because
Oh, thank you,
I've never
man.
acted, so I give a lot of credit to that. Are there any qualities of Jeff because he is a little nerdy that you see in yourself? Because I'm a little nerdy, so I wanted to ask you that.
Oh man. Listen, I feel like Jeff is like me if I lived in the 80s. You know, he's just here for a good time. He's always about having fun. And that's something I definitely wanted to bring to the character because I know a lot of times, this is a very the show can be heavy at times and there's a lot of serious matter going on. But Jeff doesn't know nothing about the upside down, none of that. He's just trying to have a good time. He's about to graduate. So I just wanted to bring some lightness, just to bring a smile. And that's what's one of the funny things. My character had braces. So I spent a lot of time, they was like, yeah, Trey, show them braces off. So I was like, ha ha,
Now,
gee.
were those props or like accessory they put on you, or did you have those actually?
Oh no, I didn't have them actually. What happened was they had basically they were like deciding between like we want one of these characters to have braces. So they landed on Jeff and they basically had me go get my teeth molded and they sent those molds to a very famous guy in LA named Gary Archer who does teeth and who does like basically like all famous people's teeth. Like if Austin Powers teeth, all the other teeth in the show, this guy is like the king of that. So he like put braces on like kind of like a Invisalign type of
Mhm.
situation. And then I just pop them in, and it was very simple. Just couldn't eat or like drink stuff in them.
That's pretty cool though. And what would your reaction be if, say, the Duffer Brothers called you and were like, "Sorry, man, Jeff is one of the 20, I think it was either 25, I'm not sure the exact number of people who died in Hawkins." What would your reaction be if all of a sudden you saw Jeff on like a gravestone and he was one of the few people who died when the gate opened?
I'd be like, hey, I'm just happy that I was here for the time that I was. Thank y'all so much, man. Like, cause honestly, to even have been a part of the episodes I was, that was beyond the wildest dream of mine. Just blew my mind to even be a part of the couple episodes that I was. So if Jeff somehow perished during that terrible portal opening, hey, Godspeed to him.
Exactly. Now, a little off topic, I was doing a little research. You were in The Blind Side, correct?
I was, yes.
What was
Yeah.
that like?
That was my first like film experience that I'd ever done. I started out doing theater as a kid, and then I kind of slowly transitioned to do more TV and film stuff. And Mine was the first movie I did when I was in seventh grade. And it was on like one day of filming, but it was like so incredible. I got to meet Sandra Bullock. And the funny thing is, like, I was a very outgoing kid. So, on set, it's a very like hurry up and wait type of thing. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go outside and I'm just gonna sing and dance, just kids being just being kids. And so Sandra Bullock comes out of her trailer, which was across from mine, and she's like, "Oh my God, there's the entertainment I've been looking for all day." And then she comes over and she was really kind, and we had a conversation, and she took a picture with me because I used to love Miss Congeniality. So literally the sweetest person, and that was my first time like ever doing anything like really like dramatic work because the role I played in the film was Michael's brother at age 12. So it was like we were being taken away from our mom into the foster care system. So it was very dramatic. And it was like, at that point, I was like, man, I think I can really do this film and TV stuff. So fast forward, and here we are now.
From The Blind Side to Stranger Things.
Man.
That's pretty awesome. Well, my final question is, I've seen, especially on your Instagram, that you're really into music and performing. Do you want to share a little bit about that with my audience?
Yeah. So I am a singer-songwriter as well. I'm currently working on my next project, which I'm looking to put out in October. So definitely be looking out for that. I'm on TikTok. I love singing and stuff on TikTok, and having fun with the Stranger Things fans there. So yeah, just look out for some really incredible music to be coming too.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Trey. You can see Trey on Stranger Things Season 4 playing the role as Jeff. And anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, you can check me out on Spotify. I have some music out on there. Really, any DSP that you stream music on under Trey Best. And also, I just want to say thank you to all the fans of Stranger Things for showing me so much love and being nothing but just open and just welcoming me into the fandom. I'm just so grateful. Thank y'all so much.
Well, Trey, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a good rest of the day.
Devin, thank you, man. Thank you.